Ohayo gozaimasu, which means good morning, or you can say Ohayo for short. It's same as the name of that state. Good morning. My name is Keiko Skow. I'm a Youth Services Supervisor at Racine Public Library. I was born in Sapporo, Japan, which is northern part of Japan. When I started college in Sapporo, Japan, my major was psychology, education, and a minor in English. And at that time, my advisor, Dr. Miyamoto, just started to research about autism. At that time, many young patients. So it was called infantile autism. And as a psychology student and with other students, we were involved. I was introduced to one family, like a playmate, I guess. And then a little girl was about 4 years old. And at that time, the research level was in Japan using play therapy, especially in the United States. It's more like away from play therapy and more like it's called behavior modification. I was involved a little bit with that research area. At the same time, also, Dr. Miyamoto introduced me to work with a young girl, middle schooler. And in Japan at that time, it was called school phobia. And she couldn't go to school. In the morning, she had a physical pain. So I was tutor and we studied together. I continued about 3 years. End of junior year of college, I had the chance to go overseas. Actually, it was originally 1 year, but I extended 1 more year. So total of a little bit over 2 years, I was away from Japan and spent some time different countries. A few countries, I was involved more working with children. It's, for instance, like England and Germany and the Middle East. For example, in Germany, and I volunteered to work. It's a municipal facility, like several nice, beautiful buildings. And there, children live who couldn't live with parents. So each building had called house mother and then assistant. And I was assistant. And then I worked together with house mother and children. And that was my experience in Germany. And then at night, I went to learn German, and in the middle of actually downtown of Cologne. It was also that itself is a very interesting experience because I met many different people from different countries. So overall, when I was young, especially college student, I had a lot of experiences to work with children. Therefore, when I started to work at the Racine Public Library, it was kind of inevitable to start from children's department. And the first children's department, actually Racine Public Library, was not here, this building. Yes, this site, but just a part of this building was old Racine Public Library. Children's department was in the basement, if I remember correctly. I guess it seems to me the stairs were very dark. Maybe it was not that dark, but to me, just I remember that. So that was my beginning of working at the Racine Public Library. To watch children grow, and not just when they were young. The later time, some of them come back to say hello, and like if they are college students, they are here to be back for summer vacation time, and they come to greet, and that was really nice. And also to know what those children are doing. And like yesterday, I had the choreography class, and I recognized one of the participants, and then I asked how her children were doing, and eldest one is already 29, and next one is 24, and something like that. It's just heartwarming to know that children are doing very well. And sometimes many years later, adults, they are living somewhere else but coming back to visit parents or grandparents, and they stop in and to say hello, or just would like to be here to feel the place, library, where they spent their childhood. And I think that's just wonderful. I think value that's definitely honesty, hardworking, empathy, never give up. Those things my family taught me, so it's still here in my heart. What I bring to the library in my programs, first of all, here and there, if I have a chance to do story time, and also in the past, I included, for instance, Japanese stories, folk tales, or kamishibai, which is our traditional storytelling format and also teaching greetings and those things I try to kind of like insert between stories. And actually, because it's a little different format, children love to learn it. And also sometimes craft. I do lots of craft, so I try to include something Japanese. Besides that, like yesterday, I taught calligraphy class for adult class, and in June, I have one calligraphy class for twins. July, I have adult class again, and again in the fall, one more. That's something I really love to do it. So to have a class is my really joy. So I like to continue it. This area is play area. It's really wonderful for little children and parents, and sometimes really wonderful for parents to exchange opinions. So this is actually like a social setting, and I am so glad that in the past, not many years ago, library decided to set up this space. Of course, library is a free institution because we don't charge when you borrow and to make space. And of this space, I meant is play area. And thinking, okay, this must be one of a few places in the city that people just come and spend the time. And here, we try to accommodate with educational toys and always thinking, well, what we can add more. And luckily, our friends of the library, they support us, and that's really appreciated. So this is a really unique and precious place for the library space. I like to mention the author, Kevin Henkes. Kevin Henkes was born in Racine, and still he has family here. And when he was a little boy, he used to come to the story time, and his storyteller was Mrs. Martin. And Mrs. Martin used to tell me about Kevin Henkes very, very often. I think Kevin and then Peggy, Mrs. Martin had a very wonderful rapport. And in October 10th, which is Friday, Kevin Henkes is coming, and it will be a big event. So we like to advertise ahead of time so people come to meet him. And back of this couple of little space that when Kevin Henkes' mother passed away a few years ago, I believe that 2019, the family donated funds to the library so we could purchase this cute play area for our community children. And we really appreciate his thought and also family thought. The interesting thing is, Kevin said to us, when he was a little boy, he told his siblings that coming to the library is just like eating 3 meals a day, that you have to do it. So thank you very much, Mrs. Henkes. That's what I say. 1988, president of the Sister City Council approached me. At that time, it was Mr. Ken Wagner. He was the head of Sister City. And then he asked me to help. So I said yes. At that time, I was as a volunteer, I worked and I helped. And at that time, delegate came from Oiso area. And the reason was, I believe Japan Johnson was near there. Therefore, they sent group of ladies to Racine. So something like that. I helped sometimes to translate and things like that. One time, Oiso's mayor came and together with Japanese consulate in Chicago. They came together with delegate. And there's a big event that was in early 1990s, might be 1992 or so. So I was invited to help out. Other things were, there was art exchange program here, Racine and Sister City. And then that program, I helped to identify whose artwork is from where and so forth, so on. And the other one was Japanese government used to send delegate of teachers. And they traveled not only here, but Madison and different cities. And when they were here, we got together and then I helped that program too. Then after I became librarian, which was 2000, after that, I was recommended and approved to be a Sister City member. So since then, I have been working with different projects. Since I'm from Japan, I'm in charge of Oiso committee, subcommittee, and what we do is to assist to make programs to accept Oiso students. Like this year, we are receiving 3 Oiso high school students to stay for a little bit over 2 weeks. Then next year, we are sending our high school student to Oiso for about 2 weeks. So something like that. It's time-taking to plan, and also finding host family is very difficult task. So if you are interested, please let me know, not only this year, but future programs. I really appreciate it very, very much. It's a really wonderful program to know, to understand each other, try to communicate, to understand different cultures. That's just wonderful, not only for young people, and also for adults. And last Christmas time, I received Christmas card from former exchange student from Oiso to Racine, and she said she's studying in Australia, and she told me about what she's studying and so forth, so on. And that's just so wonderful. And then I tell both Oiso student, also Racine student, once you are done, it's not done yet. You just keep contacting, because you're a friend, might be a friend for life. And that I can tell from my experience. After so many decades of my traveling part of the world, I still have a friend from that time, and we communicate, we exchange messages, we write cards, and so forth, so on. So I can really tell from my experience, please continue. When 2 weeks done, that's not end of your relationship. That's just the beginning of your relationship. We just continue to be friends. And that's what I tell students. That's also not only students, but also families. That's wonderful experience to accept, to understand, to learn from other culture, to teach things about happening here or customs of America. And I hope this will continue. And original Sister City idea was brought up by President Dwight Eisenhower, 1956. And that's citizen diplomacy, not professional politicians, but we, the citizens, we can make and contribute understanding between people with different culture. I think that's really, really important. I would like to really express and then emphasize how important it is to be involved. I'm still here. Thank you very much for listening, and I look forward to see you, to meet you at the Racine Public Library. So please come, please join us. Please join us summer reading program, and we have a lot of interesting programs, story times, craft, and all sorts of things. So please come. And by the way, just like last summertime, we have a reading room for young children, and then also it was older children, and of course teens and adults is all included. We are all big one family, and we can continue to read and expand our interest and our hobby. This is a wonderful, wonderful place. So please join us. Please come to the library. Thank you very much.